It's about us learning from how they instil standards, behaviours, and develop leadership. That's the key lessons for us in terms of our young players, through the academy and into professional teams. And I think that the Royal Marines are just keen to look at how we develop those physical aspects that we have within our players and instill skills into our players. So that there's a mutual benefit to the relationship, and it's hugely exciting.
It's a mutual partnership for mutual benefit. I think there's a tremendous amount that we can learn from Scottish rugby, and I hope there's something that we can give back to Scottish rugby as well, particularly with our ethics and our code and our identity. We're very proud to be Royal Marines, and rugby players are very proud to be part of their club, whether it be Edinburgh or Glasgow or obviously the Scottish national team. And I think there's a strong identity there that we can share in the way that we train. But the other key thing I think for us is leadership, and leadership is the heart of the Royal Marines. And I'm a bit older now, but I watch a lot of rugby, and I've seen so many examples of where when things get tough in the last quarter, you need leadership to come through. And I hope that we can give some of our methods and approaches to leadership into Scottish rugby, and equally with the experience that the Scottish rugby has of those difficult situations under pressure in front of millions of people, that we can learn from their experiences too.
Look, it's been hugely positive. I think there was an element of fear when they first went up to Condor, not knowing what's happening, and that's a good thing, because it's good to get the players challenged out with their normal environments. And we said all along, the academy is about developing better people as well as better players, and for them to go to Condor and be exposed to some of the training methods that the Royal Marines have has taken some of them out of their comfort zone.
So the first day there, it was kind of low level. We just did a bit of abseiling, so again, a couple of guys were scared of that, including myself. But no, it was again just building your confidence on that, just getting outside your comfort zone, and then after that we did a bit of personal training, I think it's called. So it's basically just getting blood flowing, kind of like strength conditioning. And then second day we were there, we did a bit more of a confidence builder abseiling. So it was a lot less safe in terms of you're controlling it yourself and stuff like that. And we also did a house clearing. So basically you go in with your teammates, and take out this house.
If you look at rugby traditionally, it was one voice. It was one voice, and that was the only leader. And from a layman's point of view, you would suspect it was quite a rigid system within the Marines. That doesn't seem to be the case now.
Absolutely not. And I was talking to some Scottish rugby colleagues just half an hour ago about this, and how we've changed just in the last couple of years. We've moved from a pretty large campaign in central Helmand with a pretty strong structure to now multiple operations all over the world, particularly in the Mediterranean, saving migrant lives, and in the Gulf and elsewhere in Africa, where we've got multiple teams of 12, 15 Royal Marines and other people in the armed forces, where young sergeants, young officers have to make decisions a long way from home and a long way from their chain of command. So we pride ourselves in giving our junior leaders direction, but then it's up to them to make the decisions within the direction they're given, and we very carefully select and train individuals to be able to do that. Far from me to speak from a rugby perspective, but I see that as well on the rugby field. When I watch rugby at the highest levels, the ability to make decisions at pace and under tremendous pressure, wherever it's needed, by whoever is at that point, needs to be instinctive.
It's about making decisions. It's about being comfortable making decisions, and as well as somebody at the top, and traditionally in rugby that's been the captain. So everybody's looked to one individual. What we're trying to do is say everybody on that pitch should be a leader. At certain moments in time, they should make a decision. A good example we used in there was, the recent game against Georgia when Ali Price, the penalty towards the end of the game, Ali just wanting to make a mark, made a decision which, he tapped and went, and Rory Hughes and Stuart Hogg supported that, didn't immediately responded to it, and Scotland are scoring a try at the other end. Now, that to me is an element of leadership. It's about a decision being taken, and then being implemented, and others getting behind that, and that's what we need. You look at our young players coming through, we need them taking greater responsibility for themselves. As they take greater responsibility for themselves, they can also then together take responsibility for the team, and if they do that, they're then taking responsibility for the performance and for the outcomes.